Hi guys, Ricardo Storm here, and in this video I will reveal how you can ask a woman out on a date without saying a single word. Because I know how hard it can be to have an attractive woman chasing after you, especially if she has clearly displayed a romantic interest for you. And I also understand how difficult it can be to ask her out on a date without stuttering. You might be a bit intimidated, flattered, or natural shy. I don't know which one of the three that's an accurate description of you or your emotions right now. But I can tell you that it's absolutely natural to feel either way, especially if you find her attractive. And trust me guys, she will know this by looking at you. So what should you do? Well, the worst thing is that you do nothing about it. And I know how easy it is. It often happened to me when I was in my early 20s. And I was very inexperienced with women back then. I wished and hoped that someone like Kate would explain to me what I should have done. Now, you're in luck, because after reading this article, I will cover what I would have done if I could tell my 20-year-old self to ask a woman out on a date without having to speak to her. In fact, I will share 3 ways that you can use right now to ask her out, and you don't even have to say a single word to her. That's the best part. Because even if all of them work, you have to move away from your comfort zone a bit and at least ask for her phone number and talk a little bit with her eventually. Because if you find her attractive, there's a big chance that other guys will find her attractive as well and think how they can get her. So then you better move on and act quickly, because otherwise you will lose her. But before I reveal them, I just want to remind you that if you like this kind of content, give this video some likes, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and obliterate that notification bell so that I can notify you whenever I upload new videos here on my YouTube channel. And the 3 ways to ask her out without uttering a single word and ask her out on a date are: send a text message to her, send a direct message to her on social media, and then I will reveal the fastest way to get her out on a date that nobody talks about here on YouTube or on other places on the internet. I will cover all 3 of them immediately, since I know that you're in a hurry right now and I don't want to beat around the bushes, but get to the point so I can help you get her out on a date quickly. Send a message to her and ask her out on a date. The fastest way that worked when I was in my 20s at least was to send her a text message. A simple "want to grab a cup of coffee" or "want to hang out tonight" usually did the trick back then. And most women looked forward to it. And she was so eager that she called all her friends to tell them about it. Yeah, she actually called them and talked, because we didn't have social media back then. Twitter and Facebook were still in their infancy and haven't blown up. YouTube was launched when I was in my early 20s, so people engaged in conversations and had a lot of time to do things. More than now, actually. I know that it's quite different nowadays. It seems like all women are so busy these days with these things, their phones, right? So, if you want to get her out on a date, but are too shy to approach her, or are afraid that you will stutter and screw it up, send her a text message, and I'll leave a link down in the resources below so that you can check it out and get a lot of valuable information, completely for free, of course. Because in that article, I share my personal favorites with you, and they are of course biased, since they are my favorites, but I still think that you will get a lot of great value from them, and that they will work today, even if women are more busy with a phone these days than they were back when I was in my 20s. Another way to ask her out on a date without speaking to her is, of course, by using the direct message function on social media. It doesn't matter what kind of social media you are using these days, because most of them have this function. And the best direct messages are short questions, since she wants to naturally answer them, since that's how all of us function as human beings. It's something called open loops, and the easiest way to do it is to ask a question. Using this approach is probably the easiest way to get her out on a date right away. However, I will still share the best approach, and I will share it in a moment. But first, if you prefer to contact her on social media, then there is an approach that I think that you will benefit greatly from using. And I have left a link below in the resources section to that link as well. Now the fastest way to ask her out on a date. So it's time to reveal what I believe is the fastest way to ask her out on a date, at least when I wrote that article. I have to be honest with you and tell you that this technique has worked tremendously well for me and for my friends, but I can't, of course, guarantee that it will work for you. You must know about the secret language to ask her out on a date without saying a single word. The secret language she already speaks and master. And if you can master it too, you will make her feel an uncontrollable lust and desire for you, and only you. So if you want to ask her out on a date, but don't want to say a single word to her, I suggest that you try that one. And in fact, you can click the link in the description below, and that's the first link that's available here, and that will take you to the video. After watching the video recently mentioned, you will know the fastest way to ask her out on a date that I wished I knew when I was younger myself. If you decide to click through and purchase through my link, I will earn a small commission from your purchase. But you will discover the secret language you need to understand to ask a woman out without using any words when you watched that video. And I think you should, because watching it is completely free. But if you are not sure whether it's the right thing for you or not, check out this video. That's my review. Now, I've recently shared 3 different ways to ask her out if you're too afraid or too shy to ask her out on a date using words. But the best way is still to ask her out on a date in person, because then you know that you have her full attention and you will see her immediate reaction and determine whether she's into you or not. You need to understand this secret language in order to ask her out without saying anything. I would tell my younger self about it, since it has worked well for me, and I really hope that I could tell my younger self about it. Now, even if I can't work that it will work for you, I still think you might want her to chase you and feel an uncontrollable lust for you by using the secret language that the video reveals. And that's if you click the link in the description below. And if you decide to purchase from my link, I will earn a small commission from it, but just imagine how it would feel to have attractive women chasing after you and lust for you, to have a thirst that only a certain part of you can quench in her. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, she will never admit it, but she needs that part of you to feel like a complete woman. One of the most puzzling things about women that I never can fully understand is that they pretend that they're not interested in that at all, when they actually think about it a lot. At least, that's what I have found out when I talked about it with my girlfriend. Your experience might be different, I don't know. When she talks about you, she will use different words than you or I would. I overheard my current girlfriend talk about it with some of her friends, and once you realize the words she is using, it was so clear to me what I had to do, and she was so dirty, let me tell you that. Now, she will never nag at you when you understand what she says and wants you to do. You know, when she is mad at you for no apparent reason, and you don't know what you did to offend her, or she tells you that you're outright stupid. To paint you a picture of what you can expect, I will tell you what happened when she was done talking. I used one of the techniques that I picked up from Kate's mastery course to get her inside of our bedroom when she talked with her friends, and then she asked me how I knew that that's exactly what she wanted. It was because I understood what she wanted before she realized it herself. Because here's the key, guys. If you know how to satisfy her needs when she's in the mood and doesn't have to tell you, she will become a much happier woman. At least, that's my experience. If you want the same experience, click the link and watch the video to understand the secret language of hot women. The same techniques work to ask her out on a date, I should tell you. Even if you're too afraid or too shy to ask her out, she will never want another guy other than you. If you decide to purchase through my link, I will earn a small commission from your purchase. Now, I can't, of course, guarantee that you will succeed, but you will increase your chances with her if you follow the information in that video to the T. Have a great one, and I'll see you in another video very soon. But before I leave you, please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Obliterate that notification bell, and if you liked what you heard, give this video some like. Thanks for watching.